Hospitals. What is the hospital? Hospital is main treatment and preventive institution of health care service. The main functions of the hospital: diagnostic, treatment, rehabilitation, prevention, sanitary education, study for medical students and for the personnel. A lot of different functions, not only treatment of the diseases. If we're talking about the territory of the hospital, main requirements for the area you have in your book. The main one is the clear air and soil. It's the shape rectangle. Sufficient area depends on the amount of the projected beds of the new hospital. Connection with the service district. Dry insulated area with plants. Distance from sources of pollution. Groundwater deeper than 1.5 meter to build multi-storied buildings. Green area more than 60% and building area less than 12%. All the area, the territory of the hospital have to be divided by the zones. Main obligatory, we have 6 zones. Zone for patient care buildings for non-infection patients. Zone for patient care buildings for infectional patients. Polyclinic zone, morbid anatomical zone, household zone, and landscape zone. These 6 obligatory should be on the territory of any hospital. But if we have specialized hospital, if we have such possibility or we need, could be additional other zones like obstetric gynecological department zone, pediatric zone, etc. But all of this is additional. The main object on the territory of the hospital is hospital itself, hospital building. There are few types of the hospital building construction: centralized, decentralized or pavilion, centralized block, and mixed. Of course, each of such type of buildings has its advantages and its disadvantages. If we're talking about the centralized, of course, advantages is rational usage of all treatment and diagnostic departments, mutual consultation, comfortable communication, less distance for doctors and patients, movements, food, transport, profitability. But we have a lot of the people in one building, worsening of treatment environment condition, more dust, noise, carbon dioxide, evacuation problems, nosocomial infection spreading, less time of staying outdoor of the patients. If we're talking about the pavilion or decentralized, we could tell that advantages and disadvantages of centralized will be vice versa for decentralized. For the centralized block, one of the optimal type of buildings, maximum profitability in case of multi-purpose hospitals, less area for the hospital, but its complex construction required special organization of water supply, electricity, organization of departments, tunnels, etc. Most widespread, especially for multi-purpose hospitals, it's mixed. When we have one multi-storied building, it's usually it's admission department with polyclinic or admission department with therapeutical departments. Then we have complex of surgical, nephrological, cardiological, and other buildings with tunnels connecting them, and separately like pathological household zones. Of course, it's good usage for functional zoning, degrees transport distance, effective usage of treatment and diagnostic, but such hospitals required big territory and complex construction. If we enter inside the hospital, we have main groups of premises in hospital. Premises divides by living ones, treatment, and administrative and household. And together all these premises forming ward section. What is ward section? Ward section is isolated complex of wards and treatment diagnostic premises designed for patients with similar diseases. You receive the pictures of different types of ward sections, which are single-sided, double-sided, ribbon square, and ribbon round. Most of ward section planned for 20-30 beds. 60% of wards will be for 4 beds, 20% for 2 beds, and 20% for 1 bed. If we're talking about the ward, we have special wards and general wards. For most of hospitals, we use general wards, but we have special types like boxes and semi-boxes. Their pictures you already received also, and you could compare them and find the main characteristics. Pay attention, the main characteristics of the box, 2 entrances from the street and from the building for isolation of infected patients. Requirements for the wards about ventilation, illumination, microclimate, all these you already study at the correspondent classes. We talked about the special microclimate in different types of ward on the classes for microclimate, about illumination, peculiarities, ventilation, etc. So you could repeat it from those classes. And one more very important question for the hospital, it's hospital waste, sanitary purification of the hospitals. In hospital, we basically have 2 types of the wastes. It's general waste, solid, papers, tissues, food, etc., and liquid from the toilets, from the showers, etc. So general rules for their evacuation, pickup and flushing system, nothing special. But for specific waste like blood, organs, surgical material, medicines, instruments, we can them just throughout. That's why we have to collect them in special boxes with disinfection solutions, then storage in special area, this area closed, surrounded by the fence, closed and secured. We storage them temporarily there, and then they will be by special transport into the plants which doing the destroying of the medical waste, or on some territory, on some hospitals they have a special burning places and they destroy this waste by themselves. Depends on the possibility of the hospital.